You walk into your exam feeling somewhat confident until you see the questions. Suddenly, nothing makes sense. You glance around, everyone looks just as confused. German exams have a reputation for being some of the toughest in the world. But why? Today, we are breaking down the 4 reasons why German exams are so difficult and how you can beat them. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss this. Let's dive in. Point number 1 is high standard of education. Now, unlike so many other countries where you can just cram your way into passing, well, that's not the case in Germany. And the reason is because most lecturers, they want to test your understanding of the subject. Because in Germany, they prioritize practical experience over theory. They want to know how you can apply whatever you've learned in school to a real life scenario. And that's why it's going to be extremely difficult for you to cram your way into passing an exam. Because they need to know that you actually understand. For them, it's all about understanding. So which means they're going to ask you to analyze, to argue, and to find solutions to real life scenarios. So for example, let's say you're an engineer, and then instead of them asking you to define Newton's law, for example, they will give you a case study and ask you to apply your understanding of the Newton's law to that case study. They will ask you to use the Newton's law to solve that problem. So good luck cramming your way into that. Good luck. So if you want to come to Germany with the mindset of I just need to cram my way into passing, well, I'm here to tell you, you are going to receive the shock of the century. It's not going to happen. I can tell you that firsthand. It is not going to happen. So my honest advice for you is, if you find a way to stumble on past questions, don't study the past questions just to cram the answers. No, study the questions to understand the structure of the exam. That's the best way that you can arm yourself and give yourself the best shot at passing the German exams. Point number 2 is unpredictable open-ended questions. Now, in general, most German exams don't follow a strict pattern. So in some cases, past questions might not really help you. Now, I'm not saying that you should completely ignore past questions. That's not what I'm saying. Of course, past question is good. It will help you, at least it gives you an idea of what to expect. However, don't depend solely on past questions. That is what I'm saying here. Past questions are just supposed to be like a guide. Don't depend and don't think because you've studied a lot of past questions that guarantees you that you're going to succeed in the exam. No, it doesn't. You will be surprised because the German exams are so unpredictable. It is so unpredictable. One moment you can have multiple choice questions. The next moment you have open-ended questions. The next moment you have fill in the gap. The next moment you have presentation. It is so unpredictable that I will not tell you. If I come here and I tell you, just study past questions and you'll be fine, I'm lying to you, because you never know. And on top of that, sometimes the lecturers, they keep changing. You might have a lecturer for this semester and then the completely different lecturer is taking the course for the next semester. So now you get the point. So don't rely too much on past questions, because the style of this lecturer might be completely different from the style of the next lecturer. And on top of that, many of the questions are always scenario-based questions, which means they expect you to think critically. And they also require you to answer the questions with really detailed explanation. Now, this is where the problem is. They don't expect you to also write a lot of jibby-jabber and a lot of irrelevant stories. They don't want it. They expect you to give your answers in a very well-structured manner as quickly as possible. I know that sounds very conflicting, but that's just the German way. They don't like you to beat around the bush too much. No. Keep your answers simple, well-structured, and straight to the point. So my honest advice for you will be, read beyond your textbooks. Don't limit yourself to the textbooks that you have, and try as much as possible to connect your understanding of a subject to real-life scenarios. That will give you the best shot. I'm telling you. I also used to struggle with this, but the moment I flipped my mindset and I started to connect my understanding of a subject to real life scenarios, I saw a complete 180 in my grades. This is why I'm giving you this solution free of charge. Now, point number 3 is oral based exams. Now this one is something that I even had to I struggled a lot with this in the beginning, because I'm Nigerian, as you guys already know, and I did my bachelor's in Obafemi Awolowo University. To those that know, Great Ife. And throughout my life, throughout my uni, I never for once did any oral exam. All my exams were written. From my beginning of my studies to my last paper, everything was written. But coming to Germany, I had to unlearn so many things, because in Germany, depending on your course but most times you will have a lot of oral exams, which means you'll be doing a lot of presentation. Now, it could be group presentation or it could be singular presentation, depending on how the course structure is. But you will definitely present at some point during your course. You are going to present. You will. And like I said, if you are coming from a place where you've never had the opportunity to present something, you are going to struggle. Let me give you guys an example. The first time I ever presented a topic in class, oh my God, I was sweating. I'm telling you, because I didn't know what to expect. I've never done this before. Nothing prepared me for that experience. And I had to come to the class and present to students. I was nervous. Of course, I would say maybe I hid it a little bit better, but trust me, I was nervous. I was. But of course, luckily I was able to get past that. And then since then, I learned a lot about presenting, and I was able to develop a lot in presenting. So my advice for you is, if you struggle with presenting, make sure that you be the one to say, you know what, let me be the one to present this time around. Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. That is how you're going to overcome that fear, because you will be scared. I know, because this happened to me. You're going to be scared. There's going to be this fear of stage fright, like they say, because you don't know what to expect. A lot of people are staring at you, but you just have to just give it a try. Just give it a shot. And that's what I did. And now I can present anywhere. Put me in the front of the president of anywhere, I'm going to present, because I learned this skill when I was in school. So most of the courses you will have to present, and during the presentation or after the presentation, questions will be thrown at you from different angles. It could be from a guest lecturer, it could be from your own lecturer, it could even be from students, and they're going to grade you on all this. So your understanding of this subject is critical. They'll ask you questions from different angles, and you have to be able to answer them at least to the best of your ability. And the understanding of that course, the understanding of that subject will give you a very, very high chance, because they will grade you on this. Some courses you won't even have to write anything. It's just going to be oral exam all through. So this is something that you have to prepare yourself for, especially if you are coming from a country where you've never had to do this. It's very, very imperative that you understand this. It's highly important, because if you don't know how to present, you are going to struggle a lot. I'm telling you, you will struggle in Germany. You will. So you have to learn it. It's a skill that you must learn. You can't avoid it. And point number 4 is high stakes. Now, I think I've said this one in one of my videos before, but in Germany, you are only allowed to fail a course 3 times. 3 strikes and you are out. And once you fail the subject 3 times, you cannot write that subject ever again in Germany. Any course that has that subject in it, you cannot take that course again, because the assumption is you don't have what it takes to excel in that field. So it's more like so you can say you are blacklisted from that field forever, as long as you want to study in Germany. If you go somewhere else, okay, fine, nobody cares. But as long as you want to study in Germany, you can forget about that course. It's never going to happen. And some exams, they are only taken once in a year. So which means if you fail that course in that year, you have to wait another year before you can write the exam again. And this can be exhausting, because probably that might be the only course that you are actually waiting for to be done with your studies. So imagine the frustration and the exhaustion that you have to go through to wait for another year. And for some international students, failing your exam could even mean losing your visa status. So my advice for you would be, take your exam seriously from the first attempt. Do everything possible to make sure that you pass your exam on your first attempt. That is very important. But if that's not the case, and then you feel like you are struggling, then reach out for help. Reach out to people that you feel that can help you. Don't just keep quiet and don't just stay silent. No, reach out to people. And if you want to reach out to me, you can book a consultation with me one-on-one. The link is in the description, or I'm going to pin it in the comments. Click on that link and book a one-on-one consultation with me, and I will help you. If you're struggling with anything and you want me to help you, of course, You have an opportunity to meet me one-on-one, and then I can help you. Yes, German exams might be difficult to pass, but they are not impossible. But with right information, mindset, and preparation, I am absolutely sure that you will pass and you will excel. And if you want to know why so many students are dropping out of German schools, click on this video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.